Good morning. Now we shall start on discussing energy demand forecasting through applications of AI, artificial intelligence. So, for the benefit of students, so let us see how is the power system. On top, there are generations, mostly large generating stations, then connected with extra high voltage transmission lines. Then it goes to distribution system. In most of the cases, distribution companies or licensees, they receive power at lower voltage, 33 kV, 33,000 volts and below. However, in few cases, they also receive power at extra high voltage, 132 kV or 220 kV, etc. Now, this demand forecasting is essential for development of transmission and distribution sector as well as generation. I already mentioned in the morning, it is more important to the generation system since majority of the cost towards average cost of supply to a consumer, 2/3 plus goes to generation. Now, distribution sector, it is the most challenging sector because you see, generating company, they sell power to one or few distribution companies. Again, transmission, they supply, they receive power from generation, few generation, and they supply to few, one or more distribution companies. But the challenge is on distribution because they supply to millions. Now, some of the challenges is from the right side, managing demand and generation. Electricity demand and generation has to be balanced. Now, because of climate change, more and more RE sources are coming. As of now, in pan-India basis, if we see the total renewable generation capacity is 100 gigawatt plus out of 400 gigawatt. Giga means 1000 of megawatt. With more and more RE sources, challenges are more because you see, on demand side, we do not have any control. We means from a distribution company because it depends on consumers. The demand is balanced by controlling the generation. But now the problem is, now generations are uncontrollable. Renewable sources like solar and wind, they are uncontrollable. And we call it must-run generating stations. Whenever sun is there, it will generate. Whenever wind is there, it will generate. They are free to generate. So it is a challenge. Now, generation is uncontrollable, load is uncontrollable, then who will control the system? Moreover, distributed energy sources, small distributed energy sources like rooftop solar, they are coming up. You must have heard that the government of India, there is a plan for 1 crore house rooftop solar on 1 crore 10 million houses plus. So it will have larger impact on the power system. So now the importance is on focus should be on forecasting. We need to do the forecasting as accurate as possible so that the demand and supply is balanced. Now, this is the demand pattern in any distribution system. It's a daily pattern. During early morning hours, there is a dip. There is one peak during daytime. We call it morning, say at about 11. Then there is evening peak. This is the standard feature throughout the year. Only in case of peak summer days, say May or early June, so during that time, we see the peak occurs during afternoon, not in evening, because of air conditioner loads. So this is the pattern. It is not that every day this pattern will follow. This is the in a week, pattern in a week. Again, during Sunday or holiday, this is the pattern. And during every day, there is a change in pattern. But there is a weekly pattern. Now, if you see the every month data, again, seasonal pattern is there. Say during May, June, system peak occurs. Then July, August, there is a lower demand. Again, September, October, higher demand. Then November onward, particularly in January, demand is very low in this part of this country. And there is a pattern, annual pattern. Every year, there is a growth of electricity demand. There are many factors. The primary factor is sales, energy sales. It's a demand forecasting. There is two kinds. One is peak power, another is energy. Energy is relatively stable. Energy means it is the entire demand, peak demand under a curve. And peak demand is only one peak demand. So, with energy, this is the primary requirement for forecasting. Energy. Then consumer number. We see how the consumer number is growing and whether there is any growth of per consumer over the years. Then there is another component, distribution loss. Load factor is another component. Load factor is the ratio of peak demand or average demand to peak demand. Whether there is any change over the years, whether there is any change during months, we need to check with that. Then other like infrastructure, whether there is any new infrastructure development in the particular area, metro rail or industrial hub or new township, these affect the demand forecasting. Now weather, as I said that during May, when summer peaks, so demand also peaks. So demand depends on temperature, more on fill factor. How do we feel? How is the temperature? Then humidity, rainfall, events, whether Durga Puja or a strike or Holi, so it affects. Then government policies, technology advancements like smart grid, electric vehicle, we expect a change in demand pattern with lot of electric vehicles in the system. Then any other energy efficiency program, sometime back government has undertaken Vachat Lamp Jojana. Some time back, so government took the initiative to replace the CFL, to replace the incandescent bulbs with CFL. So thereafter, another program to replace all the lamps or bulbs by LEDs. Now we see only LEDs. So these are the programs, and it has effect on demand forecasting. A tariff, of course, say if there is sudden or if there is any implementation and change in tariff, so time of day tariff, for gradually it will be implemented, we understand. Now it is, most of the cases it is optional, time of the day tariff. So gradually it will be implemented for all industrial, then commercial, maybe sometime for domestic as well. So with that, there will be change in demand pattern. And other economic factor also have some role in forecasting, though at present we don't see much, but how is the growth of GDP, state or national? Now this is the RE sector. RE sector, you see, it is growing very fast. The yellow line, solar, and blue line is wind. Wind is not much because you see now wind is waiting for advancement in offshore projects. I mean inside the sea. Till date, most of the wind power plants are on land. But in outside world, in advanced countries, they have gone for offshore wind. So when offshore wind will be more economically viable for our country, then we'll see again large growth in wind sector. But at present, it has grown initially, but now it is more or less flat. But solar is growing at a very fast rate. Again, because of economics. So all know economics will do. Price is low, so solar is growing. Now you see in managing in operation of distribution system, the distribution company has to schedule what will be the demand in next day for every 15-minute time block. Say from 12 to 12:15, 12:15 to 30, every 15 minute we have to give schedule. We have to forecast that this is our demand and how much power will import from different sources. If there is any deviation from the projection, there could be penalty on the distribution company. Now distribution company, almost all the distribution company, they have long-term agreement with generating companies. Say for here in West Bengal, WBPDCL, they have long-term power purchase agreement with say PDCL, WBPDCL, and almost about 80% power they procure from generating companies like PDCL under long-term agreement. And balance they buy from others, maybe through exchange. Now there are, exchange means market. There is a market where electricity is, you can buy electricity or you can sell electricity if you have surplus. Now that rate of electricity in the market, every day, every time it is changing. During morning hours, it touches 10 rupee, that is the cap. During daytime, it is as low as say 2 rupee or 2 rupee 50 paisa. Again, during evening hours, it touches 10 rupee. So every day, maybe there may be some variation. Since, as I said, 20% power we buy from mostly from the market, then we have to be very careful about this rate. We have to project our demand accurately so that our power procurement is optimum, because ultimately it will go to the consumers and it is not easy to buy power at any rate at our will and raise it through increasing tariff of the consumers. It is very difficult. So we have to be very careful about the projection, demand projection, how much we'll get it from our own long-term sources and how much we'll buy it from the market. Now, these are the intermittent, as I said, the generation from solar and wind that are unpredictable, intermittent. No, I should not say unpredictable, but they are intermittent. See, solar or wind, both are highly intermittent. Now, there is another mechanism in getting power from other sources other than the embedded generation. So we have to give a schedule that this much I will draw from outside. And in actual, if there is any deviation, I have to pay as per the rate deviation. We call it a rate, say deviation settlement mechanism rate. Again, that rate is fluctuating daily, over the day, week. If we cannot predict to the possible accurately, so again we have to pay penalty for this deviation settlement mechanism. So traditionally we do the demand forecasting with growth in cells in different tariff categories. Tariff categories means there is this domestic, there is commercial, there is industrial, agricultural, street light, etc. These are the defined categories. How the sales is growing over these categories over the years. Then we fit a trend. With that trend, we see how the total sales will be. Then we apply losses, then we apply load factor, etc. And we see the demand. That is the traditional method. Here in India, we have Central Electricity Authority. So, and there is, led by CA, there is Electric Power Survey Committee. So they do periodically, they do this demand forecasting for all the DISCOMs, distribution companies, for the state, for the region. Region means, say, for Eastern region, West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, etc. forms a region. Like there are 5 regions in the country and for the entire country. So this exercise is done by CA at a regular interval. Last time it was done for projection for the period financial year 22 to 32. So this is the report for West Bengal WBPDCL. West Bengal, major supply is provided by WBPDCL. There are other companies like my company, CESC is there, then IPCL is there, and also DBC is there. But this is projection done by Electric Power Survey in 20th, in last projection. So this is the traditional projection we do. This is the growth for all the categories. Now, short term, as I said, that short term projection is every day we have to project what would be the demand for next day for 15-minute time block. This is very important. So on the basis of that, we buy power, we procure power from different sources. And if we deviate, we have to pay penalty for it. Now, there are scopes, there are tools that we can apply AI technology for demand forecasting. For annual forecasting, AI may be applied, but my feeling is it is not that important. More important is to do day-ahead projection. The basic data is past time data on demand, 15-minute time block, maybe for last few years. Some experts say that more the data, more merrier. And some experts say that if you use more data, so there could be some garbage. Now, with that demand data, we can predict if we add other variables like, say, temperature, fill factor. If we have that data, then prediction will be more accurate, provided we have captured the past trend in relation with temperature as well. Not only the demand, the past trend, not only the demand, but also other factor that I mentioned, temperature, fill factor, etc., how it is related in the past. If we can do it, then the prediction will be more accurate. So variables are becoming more. Last we did only on energy or etc. So now demand for every 15-minute time block, again it is linked with temperature, again it is linked with other events. So things are becoming more and more critical. And there are techniques. So AI is a broad term. Under that umbrella of AI, there is one term is machine learning. Under machine learning, then again deep learning. Now we can apply these deep learning techniques. There are I'm not expert on. It is more on statistics and a little bit on computer science. I'm not aware about statistics, so I only know the methods. So we have also tried this method. I'm not saying that it is a foolproof, because it is a continuous learning approach. So deep learning, so there are algorithms are there. So some techniques we are trying to apply. So multi-layer perceptron, NLP, RNN, then long short-term memory, LSTM, then gated recurrent unit, etc., etc. These are the methods that we can apply for forecasting purpose. Day-ahead forecasting every 15-minute time block. So 96 data, at least we want to have accurate forecast. Now, some of the methods, MLP, so there are input layer through which we give data, and there is hidden layer where calculations are done, and there is output layer. Some method they give us a fixed, like say maybe image processing. So the computer has so many images, say for this any mobile phone. So I have given so many images from so many angles. So then it understands that yes, it is me. And whenever I show my face on this mobile phone, then it opens, otherwise not. So this is a sort of artificial intelligence built in the mobile phone. Then there is recurrent neural network. So it input, then output, then again it sees the output with past data, it compares whether there is any error, then again it tries to reduce the error, then again it gives the output after some iterations. One method, we call it RNN. The problem with RNN is it does the work more on recent data, not on past data. So this is one approach. We can do it for short-term forecasting. Maybe it is good, but when it is checking with, say, quite past time data, suppose some time back recently there is no rain, but rain has occurred few months or some time back. So it has to draw data from that day. So there RNN may have a problem. Then again LSTM, long short-term memory, etc. This again another method where it also takes data from past and gives adequate weightage. It does its calculation on its own so that the error is minimum. Then again another is gated recurring unit, another method where if there is any outlier, so it controls the outliers. And errors should be minimum. And somebody may say, what should be the error? What should be the error? These are packages available in the market, mostly used by advanced countries in US, in Europe, etc., etc. Maybe in our country somebody may use it. I'm not aware about it, but it is available in the market. Now error we call it in statistical term is MAPE, mean absolute percentage error. You see, somebody may say that yes, how much error is acceptable? Say for a distribution company like CSE or WBPDCL. So ACDCL, say demand of ACDCL is, let us assume 100. So 80 megawatt it is getting from WBPDCL under long-term agreement, and 20% it gets from, say, exchange and external sources. That power is coming from outside sources through interstate transmission system, not only through WBACTCL transmission system, state transmission. Now, let us assume that somebody may say that, okay, 5% error is acceptable. So 5% means 5. Now, WBACTCL is importing power using ISTS network 20. And if his error is 5 out of 20, how much error? 25%. It is huge. And if error is 25%, then in that event, the distribution company may have to pay penalty even at the rate of 20 rupees per kWh. So for WBACTCL, 5% may not be acceptable. Generally speaking, 2-3% is okay. I know that some exercise has been done in our country, in Delhi, and in outside, in say Thailand, they are working on it. They may use some of these softwares for projections, day-ahead projections. Of course, this deep learning, it will help. Moreover, with more and more solar and wind, we need accurate projection. But the only issue is that whether we need to understand whether it is transparent or not, whether everything we are putting in the machine and it is giving us output, whether it gives us confidence or not. So that is important. And there are challenges, like one is cost is there. We have to have more and more data. That means cost. We need to get data from meteorological departments. Now there are websites also. We can purchase data. Then software, hardware, then adequate knowledges, manpower we require for this. So these are the challenges. And there are some other uses that we expect for this technology. Of course, demand forecasting is there. Then other things are coming up which are already prevalent in outside the world. Demand response. Then it is discussed in the morning about maintenance, predictive maintenance. We can use it. We can use it for automated demand, automated distribution system, distribution management system. We call it ADMS. So there are scopes for using this, other scopes for using this. These are the technologies. I think that's all from my side.